Alright, so the image is in Blender, and I can rotate it around, but what I want to do is lock it out. So to lock it out, all you do is grab it, move it down just a little bit, and then click this arrow, and that arrow will lock it out. So now I don't have the ability to select it at all. Then I'm just going to go into object mode and hit Add Mesh Cube. And then I'll take this cube and put it above everything, jump into 7, and start sizing it up. In this case, I want to size it to that part. If you hit Z, you'll get this. That doesn't help me much, but if I go into here and drop this down to wire, whoops, I can now see through it. It's still there, but now I can manipulate the geometry, in this case faces, just so I can size this up correctly. I'm gonna say right there is good, maybe a little bit more. Okay. Over here I'll just move it and I'll rotate this at 90 degrees. Just so it's on its side. How you rotate it, you'll have to do a little bit of math there on which direction you need to rotate it. I knew it was 90 degrees that way. You might have to experiment just a little bit to find out what your side is. So now I have a side and I have the other one, and I can go in here and type 0 again and rotate that back. Cool. So if this is the inside of the box, what about the outside of the box? Okay, again, let's go back into here to the box and choose solid. Let's grab the face here and delete it. And let's make sure it only deletes that. There we go. I want faces. And what I want to do is solidify this. Well, that's really easy to do. What you do is hit L on the keyboard to highlight everything, hit spacebar, and type in solidify. Okay, now that looked pretty easy. But really what you do is you adjust your thickness so it has some girth. And then for me, I also want to make it a little bit thicker this way. Okay, so there we go. We have a top for this. Let's look at it to make sure everything looks okay. Let's hit Tab L and let's bring up the normals. Let's change the size. And everything looks good here. Let's make sure of that. Let's recalculate. That looks a lot better. So all the normals are now sticking out. Okay, let's hit W. And now let's set this up on its side. Okay, for me, I'm just going to go to object mode and rotate this and rotate it to be negative 90 degrees. And there we go. There's my top. Okay, so not much of a mystery here on how to print it. Do the same thing as before. You export it as a still. I'm going to call it thumb drive top and export it. Now this is a really small thing, so in the next video I'll show you how to think about printing it.